Nah, not at all. I mean, it was a good fight. He fought a one-legged Jose Benavidez, and it was the toughest fight of his career. That says a lot.
What does it say?
I mean, he fought a one-legged Jose Benavidez, so what do you think it says?
Well, what is Terence's best victory for you?
Probably, I would say, Gamboa.
Why do you say that?
Because I can't thank anybody else.
Did you say Postal? Was it say Postal?
Gamboa.
No.
Gamboa.
Recently, was there another time where?
Yeah, I did say Postal too. So probably Postal and Gamboa.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Wow. Errol Spence said that Terence Crawford fought a one-legged Jose Benavidez, and it was one of his toughest fights. That's what I'll talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, Errol Spence Jr., you guys heard it. During the recent media scrum, they were asking, they said, hey, you personally sparred Jose Benavidez Jr. in the past, so does that have any bearing on your upcoming fight with Terence Crawford? Errol Spence, usually being candidly honest, nicknamed the truth for a reason, he told you. He said, definitely not. Like, you know, sparring, because Errol's smart enough to know that sparring is sparring. He sparred Jose Benavidez some time ago, and the results were what they were. But he did go on to say that Terence Crawford fought a one-legged Jose Benavidez and had a tough fight with him. So he's saying it is what it is, you know, put that in your pipe and smoke it. And I believe a reporter was asking, they said, you know, what does that mean? And then Errol Spence kind of paused for a minute, and he was like basically saying, what you think it means? It means what it means. He fought a one-legged guy and had issue with them, you know, point blank, period. Then they said, what do you think was Terence Crawford's best win? And he pauses again and has to really like go and recall and go through his memory bank. And he says, probably Gamboa. And the reporters asked, why did you pick Gamboa? You know, out of all the people, why him? And he said, because I can't think of nobody else. And everybody starts laughing. So that's further proof of what Boxingego has been saying regarding Crawford's resume. Crawford himself is a talented fighter, but his resume is thin. Point blank, period. I'm not the only one that sees it with Errol Spence making a remark like that. And that's not the first time. Like even at the press conference, they had the LA and the New York press stop, and Terence Crawford was like, oh, I'm one of the best, and pound for pound, I did this and that. And then Errol Spence literally got on the mic and cut him off, and he's like, definitely not. Definitely not. Who you beat? Like, who you ain't even really fought nobody. And with him making the statement about Gamboa, you know, that was one of his best wins. And I'm picking that because that's one of the only people I can think of. Now, the reporters did also say, what about Postal? So they have to like kind of coach him and think of more options. And he said, yeah, Postal, that was a good win, you know. But the irony is all of these victories for Terence Crawford are from a previous division. In the welterweight division, none of these fights occurred. In fact, the Gamboa fight was in 2014 and we're in 2023. So we're going on the 10-year anniversary of that particular fight. And he fought Gamboa at home in Omaha. He had the size advantage. He rehydrated the night of the fight to 152 pounds. Gamboa was in the 140s. So his best win, or one of his best wins, is from 10 years ago in a lighter class. Really doesn't mean anything 2 divisions up at welterweight. And then the other one that the reporters kind of coached out of Errol Spence was the Victor Postal win. So Victor Postal is, these are good wins, but again, these are at 35-40. They don't really matter in the division where Errol Spence and Terence Crawford are about to fight, which is the point I'm making. Now back to the title of this video, the Jose Benavidez fight. Now, I personally have covered a ton of Terence Crawford fights, and I've personally covered a ton of Errol Spence fights. I've celebrated both their careers and highlighted the up moments and, even reported on some of the down moments. Fair is fair, and that's what I do, and that's what I provide. Subscribe to the channel. I was at the Jose Benavidez fight. The videos are still on the channel. So literally when Jose Benavidez got knocked out and he's doing the ring walk, I was one of the people speaking with him immediately after he got knocked out by Terence Crawford. Videos are on the channel. No reason to lie. And I watched that fight, and it was a tough fight. If you look at it, the first half of that fight was very, very highly competitive. It was when Jose Benavidez, it looked like his leg possibly was bothering him because his mobility and everything completely went flat. That's where the athletic Terence Crawford, who hadn't been shot, he's been shot before, but that was before he was even known of, not during the middle of his career of being Terence Crawford, like on HBO. And Jose Benavidez got shot in the leg. His mobility slowed. He didn't have that guile to his game, and he was just a lot flatter in the second half. And Crawford came up with a nice highlight knockout in the 12th round, started by a beautiful uppercut. But again, what Errol is saying is true. It was a one-legged Jose Benavidez. Now, many moons ago, before I started YouTube, and this is the funny thing, pay attention. I worked several jobs. I've worked retail jobs. I worked for a credit card company. I worked several jobs. But let's say using one of the retail jobs. The funny thing is when it comes to Bud Crawford's resume, and I'll give you an analogy with a retail job. If I worked at a retail job, we had different ways to decipher a counterfeit bill, right? Different things you're supposed to look at. Hold the bill to the light. We had this counterfeit pen and a little machine that would help identify most counterfeit bills, right? Now, as it relates to Bud Crawford, I find this funny. Anytime people like myself, such as myself, look and examine Bud Crawford's resume, I just told you, I think is lacking. I think overall, especially at the welterweight class, his resume is thin. Bud Crawford, the Bud buddies, they get angry that I'm actually checking. So it's kind of analogous to the retail scenario. If you went into a retail store and you went to buy a lawnmower and you wanted to pay cash, all with hundreds. So the lawnmower, the total is $2,000. And then you fan out $2,000 in cash, and you just went to the bank because you were purchasing a lawnmower and the bank gave you credible $100 bills. You're not going to care that the associate is going through their protocols to test the money to ensure that this lump sum of money I'm taking, $2,000, before I put it in my till, I'm going to go through the precautions to make sure it's counterfeit. On the contrary, if you're a crook or if the bill is fugazi and you're trying to get over on the store, you're going to grow impatient. And that's exactly what would happen when I worked at that job where it was a retail job, and then somebody would try to hand me fake money and I would go through the regular protocol. They would get antsy. They would try to distract me. They would say, "Oh, can I have the money back?" And they were ultimately paranoid because they seen that I was examining the fake money that they were trying to give me, and I was hip to it. But if the money is legit, there's really no reason to get antsy and feel a type of way that someone's just going through a protocol to make sure I'm not getting ripped off with $2,000 of phony bills that you printed up at home to make it look like these were $100 bills, but they're really $1 bills, right? Only the person who's trying to get over on the store would feel a type of way. Or you see these videos on TikTok or whatnot, it'll be a rapper and he has a chain on. If that rapper knows the chain is fugazi and then the TikToker comes with the diamond tester, he's gonna feel a type of way. But if you're Drake, y'all better not come to my studio with that fake ish. Yeah, right? If it's Drake, somebody you know has bread, somebody you know has money, you know he's going to the best jewelers, so they're not giving them CZs and cubic zirconium and the diamonds are real. Drake, you know, in that same scenario, you're not going to feel a type of way about the diamond tester, right? Why would he feel a type of way about the diamond tester when he knows he got the bread and he's not wearing like fake jewelry? He's not wearing fake diamonds, right? Back to Crawford. The Bud Buddies become increasingly agitated when you explore his resume and talk about like, oh, Jose Benavidez being shot in the leg. Why? If the win is an amazing win, like when Errol Spence beat Ugas, who had just beaten Manny Pacquiao for the title, the WBA title, then why do you care if the win is examined? Just like the counterfeit bill or the diamond tester example that I gave you. If you're not doing wrong, you shouldn't feel a type of way about the diamond tester. But the Crawford jewelry, AKA his resume, when we look at some of these wins, like Mean Machine, it's like trying to test the diamond, and Terence Crawford, the Bud Buddies don't want you to touch their jewelry. They're like, no, get that thing away from me. Don't put that diamond tester on my, and they go berserk in the comment section. So I'm curious as to why. Benavidez literally was shot in the leg. He literally had one leg. So you can't be mad at Boxingego. You can't be mad at Errol Spence for pointing out the obvious. This is a video from 5 years ago. It says from ES News, Ellie Setback says Jose Benavidez Jr. was told by doctors he won't walk after being shot in the leg. Jose Benavidez shot in the leg, right? So nobody's scamming Terence Crawford to try to find a way to down his resume. His resume is what his resume is. But it's funny when you hear Crawford talk about it, he says, oh, these people who don't know boxing, oh, the haters, you know, I'm not going to get credit till I retire like Floyd Mayweather. Wrong. Floyd Mayweather fought an undefeated Canelo, and the people who didn't want to credit him found a way to say Canelo was too young. That's not the same as saying Jose Benavidez was shot in the leg and in the second half of the fight, he was a sitting duck. That's not the same. Like, people are not finding excuses to not give you credit. Jeff Horn was not a sturdy champion. He really didn't beat Manny Pacquiao. So again, diamond tester, we're just testing the diamonds. And the only people who have a problem with it are the people who know the diamonds are not real. I've never seen anybody bring up the Kell Brook win for Errol Spence or Ugas or Danny Garcia and suggest that they weren't credible wins at the time in which he fought them. So Errol Spence would comfortably talk about his past conquest, like the past people that he's beaten without any issue. But the reality is, this Errol Spence Crawford fight, it means a whole lot for Terence Crawford, particularly because his resume is lacking the depth. So literally Errol Spence will be the first name where you would have to just give him pure unadulterated credit if he can beat him, because Errol Spence is a 3-belt unified upstanding champion in prime, bigger than Crawford. So you would give him props for that. But when you look at some of these other wins, like Mean Machine coming off a bad performance, Amir Khan a few fights removed from the Canelo knockout, Jose Benavidez one-legged, like Errol and I have told you about. I mean, this is the reality of who those guys were. And then again, like I said earlier, the fact that people are saying Gamboa and Postal, these older wins for Crawford, 2014, 2018 type of wins, are his best wins. Boxing is a what have you done for me lately type of sport. But the great thing is July 29th solves everything about who's the best welterweight now. So I can't wait for the fight, Spence Crawford. I will definitely be tapped in. I am having a watch party. So make sure you go to the video. You're able to go to the watch party video now. You can start the conversations in the comments and the predictions. Hit the like button on that particular video. Hit the like button on this video. I'm the best in the business. I keep giving you the best content throughout YouTube. And it's not even close. We unpacked. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.